uwager.lv, sportsbook, and casino. Sign up today at uwager.lv, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates. Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today, and use promo code SPORTSWEB. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
And if it isn't a fake punt, what is Giovanni Bernard doing? He does know that he doesn't play for the Cincinnati Bengals still, does he? He does play for the Bucs. But oh no, that's not just it. No. We're not going to leave him out of this mess. It's not just the special teams today. Heck, it's not even the defense. You know who it was today that cost this team the win? It's Tom Brady. Sorry. It is 4 turnovers and a partridge in a pear tree. Terrible throw. Fumble. Another fumble. An interception. And I get it. You can come on this program and make all the friggin' excuses you want to about the offensive line being bad. We know it. Once again, critical penalties, nullifying big-time plays. Amazing.
This guy sucks.
Amazing how that works. And if it's not the offense, then it's the defense. But I feel bad for the defense. They did everything they could today to win this game. But when you're being put on short fields, which, you kind of remember about 2 or 3 years back, maybe about 3 years back, 4 years back, we used to have these type of shows on the sports web, and it was always Jameis Winston turns over the ball too much. You can't win that way. Well, guess what? Tom Brady turned over the ball too much, and you lost. And you know what? The worst part about it is this team could win that game. This team could beat any team in the National Football League, but you know what holds them back? Themselves. They continue to shoot themselves in the foot over and over again. And nothing has changed. You get out to a great lead and you squander it. 5 turnovers in the second half. Completely embarrassing. I thought I saw the worst Bucs football ever. But nope. This team just showed you how bad they really are.
uwager.lv, sportsbook, and casino. Sign up today at uwager.lv, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates.
Stand by, Alex. going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition, your post-game edition of the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to overtime for the majority of the night struggle versus the Arizona Cardinals. But they survive. Tom Brady with a fourth quarter comeback, down 16-6. They tie the game, go into overtime, and on the strength of Ryan Suckup and his 4 field goals, the Bucs have now put themselves in position to win the NFC South at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday versus the Carolina Panthers. So how do we start off the Sports Web? Merry Christmas. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. And I tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. Let's get out to Alex. Alex, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers somehow, some way, find a way to win. Go.
Pete, you want to know why I kept calling you, right?
Why?
I was making sure you were resetting yourself because I jumped on and I think you thought we lost.
No, I knew that. I knew the Bucs won the game. That's why I went live. I mean, I give myself a little bit of opportunity.
But I will say one thing. There's nothing to be proud of that W. I don't care if you won or not.
No, I agree. I agree because for the majority of the night, and again,
I told you this last week.
Yes.
And Harry the Greek jumped my shit. But when are we gonna hold Tom Brady accountable? Holy shit, dude. He literally has cost us and deflated this team the last 2 weeks.
And to be fair, he's also the guy that brings you back. He's the guy that gives you the opportunity. I get it. I get it. I get it, man. This team is bipolar. They're like the weather this week in Florida. You know, one day hot, and then the next day it's like 20, 30 degrees out, and you think it's going to snow outside. I get it.
I get the O-line is busted up, and you know, I get it. But that last pick, those last overthrows,
terrible throw. And
hey,
you
listen,
could say,
I'm not gonna keep you on long because I have to get going. But listen, it's a win. Somehow it's a win. It's an ugly win, but it's a win on Christmas, and I'll take that as a gift today. But man, oh man, do we have some stuff to clean up, because that was, regardless of the W, that was absolutely inexcusable. Every bit of that game is inexcusable, and I feel bad for one part of this team, that defense. Defense has been busting their ass, and they are getting shafted almost every game. But I guess tonight we had that magic and got that overtime W. So, hey, listen, Pete, I just wanted to tell you Merry Christmas, man, and I hope you have a great day, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you, man. You don't have to be so quick. It is midnight, so, I'm not. But, the phone line is open. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I want to read these comments. Bucs suck. You know what? You suck.
This guy sucks.
You know what? You suck.
Shut up!
Because here's the thing I love about you, Troy. You're the first person to criticize this team, and I'll go ahead and take it. I'll take it like a man. I'll say the Bucs played bad. I'll say the Bucs played like shit. I will. It's after midnight. I'm cursing a little bit. Excuse me. Privileged language here on the Sports Web. But here's the thing I love about you. You never say that. You're just a hater, bro. You're just a troll. That's all you are. You bring nothing to the show at all. You just troll. That's all you do. So you can sit here and say the Bucs suck all day long, and for the majority of the game, they did. I'm not denying it. Should they have struggled versus the Arizona Cardinals, who were coming into this game at 4-10? No. And it's the same things that we talk about on this show ad nauseum all the time. Play calling, coaching decisions, Tom Brady not accurate, turning over the ball here the last couple games with 2 interceptions tonight, not great throws, missing critical throws at critical times. And I always get into these conversations with people on Facebook and YouTube about the blame game. Let's play the blame game. Well, who's it on this time? Well, it's all on Brady. Well, no, it's not all on Brady. It's on the offensive line not playing well. Again, does he have his fair share into it? Yes, of course he does. I pointed that out. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not a cheerleader for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I hate to tell you, even though there's Bucs signs in the background, even though I've admitted that I've watched this team since I was 8 years old, I don't work for them. So I'm going to tell it like it is. Is this a playoff team right now? Not the way they played, although they were able to find a way to win. That's important. Can they play like this against Carolina? No, they can't. Because right now, I think Carolina is playing at another level, even with an interim coach, even with the trading of Christian McCaffrey and not having a quarterback at the majority of the year. Is the challenge here to win your next 2 games? Yes. Did Tom Brady miss throws tonight? Yes. He missed one in the first quarter. It would have been 7-0 with Julio Jones wide open. I don't know why it takes this long for this team to have the urgency that they do. I don't understand it. You're down 16-6 and then the offense wants to start clicking. Makes no sense. But as we always say here, a win is a win. They're 7-8 and they got an opportunity to take care of business next Sunday. Are you frustrated? I am. Because the majority of this game was like a Christmas movie / Halloween movie, a nightmare before Christmas, with the offense being the nightmare. And then it's a miracle in Glendale when you come back in the fourth quarter with 2 straight drives. Rashard White with the touchdown. Russell Gage making big-time plays down the field. Getting the field goal to tie it up. And then, of course, it's a wonderful life. Because somehow, some way, you pull out a victory. Which, by the way, hats off to the defense keeping you in the game tonight. Hats off to them. So you can sit here all day long, Troy, and say the Bucs suck. But here's the deal, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you got coal in your stocking. The Bucs win. 19-16 to go to 7-8. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let me go out to Jessica Adams. God, that was a nail biter. Absolutely it was. All night long was a nail biter. Missed opportunities by this team. Turnovers. Critical ones. Terrible throws. Once again by Brady. I'll repeat it again because there's some people out there that have selective hearing loss because they feel like I'm a Brady cheerleader on this team. And if you feel like that, you're not watching the show. And if you feel like I'm coming off defensive, I am. I'm going to call your ass out. You're going to call my ass out. At the end of the day, I'm going to win. Consequently, the Bucs won tonight. Thank you very much, Jessica, for commenting. Let's go out to Roger Shue. What's up, y'all? Bucs get lucky again. Brady has got a horseshoe up his ass.
Acknowledge me.
Let's go out to Troy. Once again, the Bucs finally start playing hard and make a touchdown in the last quarter of the game. These games are so freaking rigged by cry baby Brady. Of course they're rigged because they won. But when they lose close games, it's not rigged. You know, really.
This guy sucks.
Let's go out to Troy. Bucs fans are really excited and happy about beating a 4-10 Arizona team with the third-string quarterback. So pathetic. You're so excited about calling yourself Troy Polamalu and being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You barely beat the Raiders last night, who have been god-awful. So, cry me a river.
This guy sucks.
Let's go out to Sitton. It's about time. Sitton again. Go Bucs. Roger Shue. You had to go to overtime to beat Arizona. This team is trash. Your team is trash. How many games have they won this year? 3. Shut your mouth.
This guy sucks.
I get it. It's Christmas. But I'm going to troll you back if you troll me tonight. I'm in one of those particular moods. So keep on trying me there, tribal troll, and I'll keep on trolling you back. Because you ain't bringing nothing to this party at all. There you go. This team is killing my health. I know about that. Good comment. Absolutely good comment. Christopher Cole, of course, happy birthday. Hope it was a special day. You got exactly what you wanted, my friend. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers or in the win column. And speak of Mr. Tribal Troll, Mr. Roger Shue, go for it. Welcome to the evolution.
Me.
I acknowledged you. I acknowledged that your team is a 3-win team and you want to troll this show all the time. I acknowledged you. I called you out. Now, what do you want?
Why is Tom Brady still playing football?
Because he's able to lead this team back in the fourth quarter to score after being down 16 points, or 16-6, excuse me, 10 straight points, and then win in overtime. That's why he's playing.
That's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous? Why is it ridiculous? You play a full game.
The Bucs haven't played a full game all season.
They just did. They just won in overtime. They just won in overtime, did they not?
They couldn't win in regulation.
Okay, but they won
to beat the Cardinals.
Did they win in overtime?
Do you honestly think you guys are going to beat Carolina next week?
I don't know at this juncture.
Again,
you're one of these people. No. This is the problem. No, this is the problem with you, Roger. You got selective hearing, my friend. You've got selective hearing. I said if they have the same type of effort, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. If they have this type of effort for the majority of the game, more than likely they're going to lose to the Carolina Panthers. The thing that gives them the opportunity to win for some reason is when this team is down, when they have their backs against the wall, when they face an adverse situation, they're able to somehow come out of it. And they did it tonight. Right?
In the words of the wise man, Paul Heyman, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. Panthers win.
Okay. Well, you've been picking against the Bucs all year long. You've been picking against the Bucs all year long. So what's any different?
Peter,
what else?
Unlike Troy Polamalu, I call into the show because I love the show.
Good. I hope you do.
I'll call in and talk my trash, but deep down I love the show. I love you. I love the Sports Web.
Okay.
But here's my prediction, and it's a spoiler. Troy Polamalu will not call into this show in 2023.
Probably won't. He didn't call in 2022. He didn't call in 2021. He didn't call in 2020. He didn't call in 2019. Well, he's consistent.
So you know what? We don't acknowledge him.
All right, man. What else?
That's about it, bro. Just Merry Christmas. I hope you had a great one with the family.
Appreciate you.
And Merry Christmas to all of the webheads. And have a great night, guys.
Merry Christmas, buddy. Thanks a lot for the call. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll get back out to these comments as we will read them. David says, Merry Christmas, everybody, and fire those jingle bell cannons.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Again, there's a lot to see here, a lot to work on, and a lot to talk about. And there's a lot of Buccaneer fans that want to complain and vent. I understand the frustration, but also keep this in perspective because I'm all about perspective at the end of the day. They're still 7-8. If they take care of their business next week against the Carolina Panthers, they're NFC South champions, and they're going into the playoffs. You heard me right. That's how bad this division is. This team has earned the opportunity. They're going to face the Carolina Panthers because the Lions couldn't take care of business over the Panthers right now. But that Panther team is hot, and that Panther team is playing with confidence. And you're going to have to shut down that running game, and you're going to have a full effort in order to beat them. Can you do it? We shall see. This is what you set it up for. You lost to Carolina in embarrassing fashion. In the first half of the year, 21-3, it's time to redeem yourself. We'll see if the Bucs can do it. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Troy Polamalu. It was nice seeing that ghost Levante David making some plays. He's not a ghost. He's been making plays all year long. Check out the Pro Football Focus. Troy, once again, just trolling. All right, let's go out to Jim. Jim, welcome to the Evolution. Merry Christmas as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers give you a Christmas gift tonight instead of Christmas coal as they defeat the Arizona Cardinals 19-16 in overtime. Go.
Man, they worked hard to beat the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were gonna lose there at the end.
I agree. There was a lot of doubt in this game. No doubt about it. No doubt.
I think the defense saved Brady's life today. So I don't know what we're gonna have to do. I know our offensive line is in shambles, but at least we got one. We got a rookie back.
Yeah.
He ain't a rookie no more, but we got him back. Our Pro Bowl player. So I don't know, man. If we can hold it back, 'cause them Panthers on fire. So
That's
I
it.
don't see how.
That's a tough team. That's definitely a tough challenge at the end of the day. You're absolutely correct about that. You're right. You're completely right.
Yeah, if we go in there playing like we did today, it's going to be a wrap.
Right. And again, a lot of people are saying out there, a lot of fans saying bench Brady. And he made some really bad throws, and he does not necessarily look like the same quarterback he was just a couple years ago, because 2 more interceptions tonight. He's still missing wide open receivers. He's still slow on the draw, but is the offensive line helping him out? No, they're not. And the offensive line, once again, snake bitten by an injury. Josh Wells replacing Donovan Smith. He goes out in this game, and you got the greatness of Brandon Walton, who at the end of the day is an inexperienced player who's only had 1 start this year, and he's your 3rd string left tackle.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on 3rd string left tackle. Right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I think we need to get another left tackle anyway. But
well, they're not growing on trees, my friend. That's for sure. They're not.
I know. But that one we got is old, so the one, our starter.
Well, the one that's hurt right now is Donovan Smith, and that's the guy that's hurt, and that's the guy that has been your Achilles heel all year long for you,
right?
With the penalty situation. But you didn't even have him tonight. You had Josh Wells, and he went out with an injury, and looks like a serious injury because he got carted off. He couldn't even put weight on his foot, so we'll see how that situation works out. So,
well, I'm not gonna blame it all on the offensive linemen. They had chitters at first.
Yeah.
But at the end, we was running the ball. We was moving the ball on the ground. So
yeah,
they had to been doing something.
Yeah.
So I said they got it together at the end, but Brady got to get it together because he looking like a rookie. The announcers on TV talking about he looking like a rookie out there.
Not looking good. Not looking good,
right.
Jim. Damn it, Jim. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. Let me go ahead and give you the Byron.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Merry Christmas. Let me go out to Mr. Gene Thomas, live from Arizona. You were at the game tonight. Buck, what you heard on the Shooter and Stash Network. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend. Your thoughts?
It was very frustrating to watch.
Right.
I'll put it that way. I feel bad that, people can't see the game from the angle that I saw the game.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady was getting pressure. The offensive line wasn't doing him any favors.
Not good. It's not been good. It's been consistently bad all year long. And that's the one thing that's been consistent about this team. Not only not being able to score in the red zone, not being able to score 17 points or more. They scored 19 tonight. But the offensive line is a big part of this, and it continues to just get worse because, like we talked about, no Donovan Smith. Not that he's been great this year, but he's your starter. Josh Wells goes down, and you got Brandon Walton coming in. So, yeah, it's snake bitten. Yeah,
and then the coaching, it's maddening to look at some of the sequences that, these coaches are calling plays. You've got run, and you got a run pass, and you got they aren't doing enough with play action. I saw last week where play action worked so well.
Yeah.
In the first half of that Cincinnati game, you didn't see any of that. I mean, you didn't see any motion. It's predictable.
It is.
And what I found very interesting was, when you watched the Cardinals line up, the Cardinals defense line up against the Bucs offense, is as if they knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like they weren't, how you've seen defenses that look confused or they're on their heels and they don't know what to do. This defense knew what was coming almost. It was like almost every play. They knew something, one of 3 things was going to happen. And that's pretty much how it went. And
right.
Again, I've never been a fan of personally, and this goes back to Jameis Winston. I've never been a fan of Byron Leftwich.
I don't
I
see
just
how you
have
could be, and I've tried to defend him on this show, Gene, many times, but I just don't understand how you continue to call some of the plays you call. Consequently, going back to tonight, 3 straight plays, you run the ball in the same place to get 1 yard, and you're not
Yes.
able to get the 1 yard. You take the
Yeah.
ball out of Tom Brady's hands, and he's a guy that's been known to quarterback sneaking. In fact, 90% of the opportunity to give it to Tom Brady on a quarterback sneak, more than likely you're going to get a first down.
Yeah, and to me, though, those are wasted plays.
Right.
Wasted plays, and your defense goes out there. Defense was gassed, and shout out to the defense and what they were able to do to keep the Bucs in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, because of the defense, the Bucs had a chance to make plays, but outside of that, I'm just frustrated with the play calling. I'm frustrated with just the overall team. It's just like they're underachievers. It reminds you of 2018 a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. It reminds you of teams that, and we've watched a lot of teams wrong with Eugene Thomas here, Mr. Gene Thomas, the Buck, what you heard of the Shooter and Stash Network here, live on the Evolution. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. It reminds you of those Tony Dungy offensive-led teams, and even I think Tony Dungy's offense was a lot more creative. And you look at the weapons at the end of the day, Gage made some big-time catches tonight, but earlier on, drop passes. Julio Jones, wide open touchdown that Tom Brady misses. Mike Evans, largely just a man on the milk carton in the first half, and then suddenly he comes alive. Why do you think it is so difficult for this offensive staff to get Mike Evans involved in the game plan? He is your best wide receiver on this team.
I counted 7 times where he was wide open.
There you go.
He was running free. And I don't know if that's by design or I'm scratching my head. And then Rashad White was out of the game, and they had there were plays where I felt like Rashad White could have been utilized a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's your all-purpose tool, and Leonard Fournette is your hammer.
Yep.
And they should be utilized as such. They should work in concert together, but they're not, it's you're force feeding Leonard Fournette, and there are opportunities where I know that they could have, ran a play out of the backfield, speed in space, but they run with Leonard Fournette.
Yep.
Again, man, I'm not a head coach. I'm not a GM, but these are observations that I've made, and I know that if I see it, I know a defensive coordinator sees the same thing I do.
Sure they do. And if you see it, then they can see it, and then of course they can diagnose it at the end of the day, and then your offense becomes predictable. Going back to it tonight, you finally get a touchdown to Julio Jones, but what happens? You get a penalty on Cade Otton for moving. Then you're backed up at that juncture. Then you get a first down by Cade Otton. Then you get another penalty, and basically it's 3rd and 19. That is what this offense is right now. And they settle for a field goal instead of getting a touchdown. And that is not winning football. And once again, are they fortunate to have Tom Brady? Absolutely. But again, there were times tonight where Brady's still missing throws and still turning over the ball. And there's a lot of people telling me, and I see it, the fire isn't there. Can you watch this? Can you figure this out with Tom Brady?
What I saw from Tom Brady is he's getting rushed, and you've got J.J. Watt breathing down your neck. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't want to say gun shy. That may be the word.
Right.
But there were times where that first interception he threw, he was pressured.
Yep.
He was pressured big time. And he threw the ball short, and that was on him. But Mike Evans would have walked in the end zone if that would have been over his shoulder.
Sure, absolutely. Mike Evans will walk into the end zone, then you're not able to snap the ball when the Cardinals are not covering him. You're not able to get the ball off because at that point, and that's later on in the game, he has a walk-in touchdown. You're not able to snap the ball. So, but I'm just baffled by it. I get it. Evans may be dealing with an injury, but it just seems like this offensive staff has no clue how to include Evans.
He goes out there and runs the route and comes back to the huddle.
Right.
And that's pretty much what you have there.
Yep.
I know there's enough blame to go around for everybody,
Sure.
but it starts with the coaching staff, and they have to figure something out.
They do.
What's scary to me, and not to get too far ahead, but what's this team going to look like without Tom Brady, with a less experienced quarterback under center, and you're calling these types of plays? I don't know.
I don't either.
It's a waste. It's a waste of so much talent right now on this team that I again am. Oh man.
It's baffling. It'll give you a heart attack. It'll make you drink. I talked about it tonight. This team is like a Christmas slash horror movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then all of a sudden, it's Miracle in Glendale. And then after that, it's A Wonderful Life again. I mean, that is a Bucs life right now. Everybody's just going crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. It's like the bipolar weather here we've had this week. One day it's 70, 80, 90 degrees, and the next day it's 20 or 30, and everybody's freaking out because, everybody that's down here is like a chihuahua. They can't deal with the coldness. They got no fur to deal with it.
Exactly.
And not the nerves to deal with it with being a Bucs fan. And the people out there, and I love you bandwagon fans that just joined up and became a Bucs fan because Brady came here. Guys, the fan base has been dealing with this for years. You see all this gray and white here. They call me Salt and Pepper Peter. The reason why is because of this team and also because of women, but more like this team than anything else.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was my takeaway.
Okay.
I'm glad they won. This is going to be an interesting game against Carolina. This is a winnable game, and I've said this since the beginning of the season. These are all winnable games.
Sure. Absolutely. All winnable games. And you look back at it, you get embarrassed by Carolina 21-3. Now you've got Carolina at your house. You got the division title on the line. You have to win it. You got everything in front of you at this juncture. Defense tonight, and then we'll get you out of here because I got, of course, Jacob Charnow of the Hard Count Football Podcast coming on here. Thanks a lot once again, Gene, for calling the show. Your thoughts on this defense, my friend?
I'm like I said, I was very happy with what they were able to do. They've bailed this offense out on multiple occasions. If you go back to the beginning of the season, this was the concern, was the defense. It wasn't the offense.
Yeah.
Because the offense looked like, when you're coming out of camp and everything, you saw it, I saw it. We thought, oh, we're not worried about the offense. We're worried about the defense. And the defense has played above and beyond. They played well tonight without Vita Vea. Akeem Hicks made a couple of good plays, and they basically bailed this team out this time. So shout out to them. I think they get the game ball. The defense does.
Definitely does. And Anthony Nelson early on in this game causing a turnover, and then of course Devin White with the recovery. The Bucs not able to do anything with it. And this defense all year long, they've had their fair share of criticism with, of course, Devin White saying at some points in the season he was bored or they were bored. But they've been on the field for a lot of this, and it's because of the offense's deficiencies in converting third downs and not able to score in the red zone. Because just imagine if this offense were like what they were last year, scoring 30 points a game, this defense would be that much better off. Gene, thanks a lot for the time, my friend. Merry Christmas. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say maybe 2 losses if we're talking last season's offense.
Sure. Yeah. Unbelievable. All right, my friend. Merry Christmas. All right.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for having me on. Talk to you later.
Absolutely. Enjoy the Christmas celebration as the Bucs deliver tonight a win to go to 7-8.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Not bad, but still lots to improve. All right, we'll get out to Jacob here in just a moment. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to You're Right. I'm right. Troy Polamalu, Pittsburgh Dynasty, free Watson, rent free. I don't know if it's your twin or what. We did it. Glad we won. Tom Brady just is tired trying to find his contract. I'm sure he's done. We'll see if he's done. We'll see if he's going to come back. You heard from Rodney Harrison tonight saying he believes that Brady will go to another team with a better offensive line. And we've talked about that ad nauseum on this show, where the offensive line is not consistent enough to protect Brady. What's the onus? You got to protect Tom Brady. He's not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer. And when things start to break down, especially in the interior, he's going to get hit. And that's going to cause turnovers. We've seen it all year long. That's been the most consistent thing about this team. Poor offensive line play.
This guy sucks.
Let's go out to Tammy. Merry Christmas, everyone. It wasn't a pretty win, but I'll take it. Get out to you in a moment. Jacob, let me read these comments. Is Mike Evans less than 100 yards away from 1,000? I'll get that statistic in a moment. Certainly looks like it, but earlier on in the game, he was a ghost. Merry Christmas. A Christmas miracle happened. The Bucs pulled out a win they didn't deserve because they look like crap. Agree. Let's go out to Dave. I know we're playing backups on the old line, but coaching has failed them undisciplined. Can somebody tell me why Brandon Walton, who's coming into the game and you're going past play action, why you're not chipping a tight end or a running back on that side? When did Walton turn into Willie Roaf or Orlando Pace? That is coaching. That is scheme. You're not putting your players in the right situation to win. Goodness gracious, we go through this every game. Just mind-numbing situations. Sequencing. Running the ball on first down again. How does that work out? Not very well. Troy Polamalu, acknowledge Roman Reigns. I'm not acknowledging anything. Roxanne says, Peter's on fire. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Christopher Cole, I was fixing to take off my necklace in the fourth, but you know what? You're a Bucs fan, so you know. And by the way, once again, happy birthday. Roxanne says, I love this side of you. Well, get used to it, because sometimes I am aggressive on this show. I will back down, and I'll tell you I'm wrong. But if you come at me, I'm going to come right back at you. Christmas or no Christmas. New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving, you should be thankful that I'm coming with the fire tonight, because we say three things on this show. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. All right, let's get out to Howard here. Relax, Peter. It's all good. I get it. Everybody telling me relax. I'm not going to have a heart attack. I'll be okay. Being a Bucs fan is not for the faint of heart. It's not. Roxanne, damn, babe. Yes, we beat Carolina. Love this man. You got to beat Carolina. BA talked about it this week. Who cares if you get in with an 8-9 record? You win a division, you get to the playoffs, you don't know what's going to happen, or 9-8 record, because you got to win out. You got to beat Carolina. You got to take care of business in Atlanta. Atlanta's eliminated. They're done. It's time to put Carolina out of their misery. If you want to be a playoff team and somewhat of a championship team, and the way this team has played lately, they're not. But if you want to be like that, you got to put these teams out of their misery. It's time to take them out back like Old Yeller and shoot them in the head. I'm sorry if that's descriptive once again, but that's what it's time to do for this team. Troy Hugh, I cannot. Troy again. Okay, Roger, see you guys back on Tuesday. No, you won't. You don't work with us. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. First Noel, Buccaneers is the most feared team in the playoffs. Why? Tom Brady. It is what it is. The guy's been there. He has the experience. He's not making all the throws, but he's been there. He's scary. He showed you tonight. The team showed you tonight. All right, Ralph Williams. Let's see here. Arizona has no quarterback, and Kingsbury is out to get fired. Bucs could have done better. They could have, but they won. Walton was trash. Ralph again. Brady not doing good this year. You know my feelings on Brady. I do. Troy Polamalu. Bro, Fournette is garbage. All those carries and can't even burst for a big run. He's always running against the wall. Is that Fournette's fault, or is that the offensive line's fault? You just said he's running into a wall. Well, the offensive line has to create holes there, genius. So once again, a stupid comment.
This guy sucks.
Jem says the coaching is horrible. Is he going to challenge anything? We'll get back to that in a moment. Welcome to Victory Monday. Absolutely. Let's go out to E-Man Report. Bucs have to be better against Carolina. Agree. Old man noodle arm, Brady missing open receivers. Agree. Peter, don't forget to mention about Gronk coming back to Tampa. That was a report we'll get back to in just a little bit. Smart ass.
This guy sucks.
Darnold has been playing great. He has. Dave, Mike Evans, 917 yards with 2 games to go. I still think it's possible for him not to get 1,000 the way he's totally misused. With that being said, we'll get back to the comments in a moment. Let's go ahead and bring this guy on, Mr. Jacob Charnow of the Hard Count Football Podcast. Merry Christmas, my friend. Thanks a lot for joining us on a late edition, a post-game edition, a victory edition here of the Sports Web.
Absolutely. And before we talk about the Bucs,
I know.
Hold on. Because I've been watching, you'll say, and everyone who's like, "Oh, Peter will never say when he's wrong."
All right.
Why don't I give the floor back to you? Because how about them Panthers, Peter?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I bought, and he's exactly right, because if you watch the over-under, on Friday night we had a special edition. The schedule's been a little bit crazy, but this kid right here, who's amazing, is going to Syracuse University, and I'll come full screen here. He said to me, bet on the Carolina Panthers to win this game and win easily. And sure enough, the Lions do what the Lions have done all year long. It's not Jared Goff in the offense. Now, you were wrong about that, young Skywalker.
Yes, I was.
He played well, but it was the defense giving up over 200 yards rushing. So, yes, I was absolutely wrong about the Panthers losing that game versus the Lions. So I will give you that, and I will give you the floor, my friend.
Absolutely. But I'll say this about that offense, too. The thing about Jared Goff is that he's like, when everything around him is perfect, he's fine. As soon as things start to break down, that's when you start to see some real trouble, and that's what we started to see, because the Panthers, and this transitions right into this Bucs game, the Panthers have a good defense, like a really solid defense. And if you think that next week this Bucs team, and not you, but this Bucs coaching staff, they come in because they have shown the inability to adjust. That has been something that I have noticed every single Bucs game. They will not beat the Panthers if they play like they did tonight.
No,
because it was, forget the way Brady played, because Brady didn't play well by any stretch for essentially, 3.5, 4 quarters of this game before, overtime and all that stuff. But you get a defense next week in Carolina with some really good corners. So you're not going to be able to rely on these receivers. They have a great pass rush with Gross Matos and Brian Burns. So with Josh Wells now being out for the year, you're probably going to have to start that guy's name, Brandon Walton.
Brandon Walton, yes.
You're going to have to start that traffic cone of a blocker at left tackle again. And
you mean the turnstile. Look, I thought there were moments tonight where he showed he could block, but also he showed flashes of Donovan Smith, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
No, definitely not a good thing. And like, you need to be, you said it before. You have Leonard Fournette. You have Leonard Fournette, the big body of Leonard Fournette, and you are not chipping a block on the left side. Are you kidding me? If you don't do this next week, Brian Burns might kill Tom Brady. Forget playing for a team next year or getting into the playoffs. Tom Brady, he's going to be 6 feet under if they don't block Brian Burns next week.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a tough matchup because, and you wouldn't think about it, but this all started with that big-time Bucs victory that gave the Panthers that momentum, even with an interim coach, even with trading Christian McCaffrey, even with having P.J. Walker and Baker Mayfield and now Sam Darnold. I mean, talk about the quarterback there. You know him a little bit well. How is he playing, in your opinion? And should the Bucs be focused on Mr. Sam Darnold?
Man, I am quite familiar with Darnold. You're right, as a Jets fan. But Darnold's been playing really well. And I think you start to see, once Adam Gase and Matt Rule aren't in the picture, and you get a guy like Steve Wilkes, who is a veteran guy, very experienced, knows what he's doing, you start to see this offense kind of take off. And Darnold doesn't need to play out of his mind because this run game is so strong. Because this offensive line is pretty solid. They've been really, really solid these last couple weeks. So, I mean, do you need to hyper focus on Darnold? Absolutely not. You need to hyper focus on this run game and stopping the run. And I mean, the way it went tonight, there's going to need to be some adjustments, man.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some adjustments. We're on with Jacob Charnow of the Hard Count Football Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Blake. post-game edition of the Sports Web. Merry Christmas. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers survive the Arizona Cardinals, win in overtime 19-16 with a 40-yard field goal by Ryan Suckup. Look back at that Brady play in the first quarter, and that's kind of what Brady has been all year long. You have a wide-open Julio Jones. It's an easy touchdown. You complete that 2 years ago on your way to a Super Bowl, and for some reason, Brady is missing these throws. Is it the pressure getting to him, or is it the fact that you're starting to see Father Time catch up with Tom Brady?
No, it's the fact that he's getting abused. You look at all his years in New England. You look at the first years that he was here in Tampa. He never had these issues, right? He never had bad offensive lines. Now, you start to see it kind of deteriorate, and you start, like, things aren't perfect for Brady anymore. Now he needs to start, making up for it. And he's not at the point in his career where he can still really do that. And I think we're starting to see that because he can have those fourth quarters where, he comes back with under 10 minutes left and all this and scores however many points and then wins in overtime. But you're in the play. We're thinking playoffs now, right? We're talking next week to clinch this division for a home playoff game for this team, a home playoff game. And you think that any team in these NFC playoffs, I do not care if it is the Commanders. I do not care if it is the Packers. I don't care if it's the New York Giants. All of these teams look better than the Bucs do. All of these teams will give them trouble in the playoffs if Brady doesn't figure this out for 4 quarters, because this is an issue. You can't be missing those easy throws because you're not going to beat teams scoring 10, 13, 19 points. You're not going to. These are high power offenses in the NFC. They are. These teams aren't getting in based on defense, right? The Packers, the Giants, the Commanders, Dallas, the Eagles, Vikings, all these teams are certainly not in the playoffs because of their defenses.
Yeah.
It's because you have these high-powered, high-tempo offenses. And guess what? If your defense, kind of breaks down in pass coverage a little bit like we saw tonight with a better quarterback under center, you're going to have a real tough time in the playoffs with teams dropping 25, 30 points on you and not being able to keep up. So you can't, fourth quarter or not, you need to score some damn points. Like this can't be happening. You're in the red zone, you're getting prime field position, and you're settling on field goals still. It can't happen.
Yeah, and it goes back to the mindset of this coaching staff, which I've been critical of, and there's a lot of fans that have been critical of. Todd Bowles tonight, it looks like the Cardinals later on in the game or short, they don't review the play. They're given the first down instead of reviewing it. You've seen him punt. You've seen him take the ball out of Tom Brady's hands. And it's talking about the 3 plays there. You're watching this, Jacob. You've watched a lot of football. It makes some sense of it. 3 straight plays to get 1 freaking yard. And it's like Byron Leftwich, or again, whomever's calling these plays, if it's Brady, if it's Byron Leftwich, they are so stubborn and so hard-headed that they got to have their way. They got to run their way. And they're running towards J.J. Watt. And by the way, J.J. Watt is still a pretty damn good player, and he absolutely schooled Tristan Wirfs tonight.
Yeah, totally. And the reason I think this is so funny is because I watched years of Todd Bowles football. I watched years of it. And yeah, that's what it is. You're running the same play, 3 downs to try and get 1 yard, and it can't happen. Literally, is Brady so immobile that they can't even run play action for him to roll out? Is he that immobile? We've seen it just this week. Just look at this past week. The teams that at the goal line, you need 1 or 2 yards, roll out, tight end is wide open. Wide open. It's so easy to get 1 yard. I hate to understand because it's the NFL, but you're running straight up the middle. I don't care who your running back is. We just saw Derrick Henry against the Texans get tackled behind the line a ton of times. It does not matter who your running back is. Leonard Fournette, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry. You could have Walter Payton back there, Barry Sanders, whoever it is. If you're running it straight at a defense that knows what's coming in this league, they're going to stop it 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Mix it up. Be a little bit creative. This is modern NFL football. Yeah, running the ball works. And they choose to abandon it at the worst times. And they try to stick with it at the worst times.
Yeah.
1 yard. You have Tom Brady. And this was the same thing I said at the end of the fourth quarter when, I forgot exactly the situation, but it was 3rd and 5 and you run the ball and then you punt the ball away. Well, what was that? What are you doing? Like you have Tom Brady in the 4th quarter. He is
3rd and 3. You're 3rd and 3.
What he's doing. He knows
give
what
the
he's
ball
doing.
to Leonard Fournette down the middle, and it gets stuffed. Amazing. I
Obviously.
don't understand it at all.
This guy sucks.
And again, I've been a defender of Byron Leftwich, and it just seems to continue to be, you know what? We're going to call the same plays, and we think that we're going to get different results. And you know this all too well, Jacob. When you're doing something over and over again and you expect different results and don't get them, what's that called? Insanity. And consequently, that is what we're watching right now with this offense. Going from a 30-point juggernaut to having no problem scoring points to now 17 points the majority of the game. We're on with Jacob Charnow of the Hard Count Football Podcast. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. But once again, the defense comes up big. DeAndre Hopkins, little to no impact tonight. And people are like, well, Trace McSorley, man, he's going to pull off the win. 20 for 34, 172, didn't turn over the ball tonight, but he's a 3rd-string quarterback. He really did nothing for this team to win. They're 4-10. They got nothing to win at the end of the day. Nothing.
And that's what I'm saying, where, you look forward and you look at these quarterbacks you might have to face in the playoffs, man. Like, they're better than Trace McSorley. Like obviously, like they're going to give you more trouble than Trace McSorley did. He got a lot of yards with his legs. You want to win. This is not a team that's just trying, right? This is not a team that's just trying to sneak in. Right. And then if they win a game, they win a game. This is a team they are in their prime / past their prime. They need to win right now. This is a Super Bowl year for them, trying to win a Super Bowl, right? This isn't the Jets or the Giants where they sneak in and like, cool, like you have a bright future ahead of you with these teams. The Bucs right now this is their year to keep it going. Like they need to figure it out, because you sneak in, you want to win a Super Bowl, you're going to have to play Jalen Hurts. You're going to have to play this. You're going to have to play the Cowboys. You're going to have to play Kirk Cousins and this high-powered Minnesota offense. Like, there's no, I don't know. It's
the defense can keep you in the game, and
they have to.
You're turning over the ball. Their offensive line isn't able to block. They're not able to overcome injuries. It's just there's so many things there, and the Bucs are so fortunate because I look at it this year, and you've watched this team all year long. I don't even know how they have 7 wins, Jacob. I was surprised. I was like, oh, like because 6-8 and 7-8 on a little screen, on a little ticker on the bottom. So like 6-8 is bad. 7-8, a lot of teams are 7-8 right now, but a lot of teams are not winning their division at 7-8 right now, and that's crazy to me. Yep.
Are the Saints still in the run in this division? Can they still win the division or no?
I believe they still can. I believe they're still in contention for it. That's how bad it is because they took care of Cleveland, another loss that, and I thought it would favor Cleveland, and sure enough, it didn't favor Cleveland. It's been a wild week, Saturday and Sunday today, of course. Your final thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their win over the Arizona Cardinals. What do you see, and can this team finally put it all together, or is it going to be the bipolar Bucs, the self-destruct Bucs? I said today they should be the spokesman for the NRA because they shoot themselves more than anybody I've ever seen in the foot. Or the question should be, does Plexico Burress play for this team? Because not only do they shoot themselves on the leg, but on the foot multiple times.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know where to start with this. I think that with the win tonight, unimpressive. That was a give me win, right? That should have been. They made it a lot more difficult than they needed it to. Like you said, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Going forward, to figure it out, there's a lot of pieces. This is more than coaching. This is coaching along with bad offensive line play, bad quarterback play. Like there's a lot going on here. They need to figure it out, because if they don't figure it out, I hate being a hater, but they're going to go into the playoffs and they're going to blown out by 25 in the first round. They're going to, because they're going to play Dallas.
Or Jacob, they're going to get down by 20 or 25, and then all of a sudden that urgency is going to click on.
The problem is that in the playoffs, that might not these teams are better coached and they are
Correct.
going to be able to hold that lead. They are not going to be the Cardinals tonight because that urgency starts to kick in. Great, you're down 25 points in the fourth quarter and you can cut it down to 10, but you can't get it all the way there. And that's and you look at the man, like I hate to, like you look at the coaches in the NFC right now, man, like Sirianni, even Mike McCarthy. We'll forget Mike McCarthy for now, right? Like Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings, Brian Dable with the Giants, Ron Rivera, like teams you might have to face in the playoffs, better coached than you. And that is incredibly crucial to winning in the playoffs. Forget home field advantage, forget Tom Brady. If you're getting out coached, you're going to lose the game.
All right, give me your thoughts on this week's NFL action, and then we'll get you out of here on this. Thanks a lot again for your time.
Absolutely. Like this past week, I'll go out.
Yeah.
Oh man. My Jets, they got a break. I mean, the Packers. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for beating up on the Dolphins. Thank you, Tua, for 3 straight interceptions on 3 straight drives.
Another story.
Ridiculous. But now the Jets control their own destiny once again, which is nice. Man, what else even happened this weekend? The Panthers ran for 1,000,000 yards on the Lions.
Come back and beat the Raiders with Frank.
Oh yeah.
Thing there. You have the Texans upsetting the Titans, which I've said this before and I'll say it again. Malik Willis should not be a quarterback in this league. He's shown absolutely nothing, and the Titans right now on a free fall. And then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars that are actually the leaders in the division, the AFC South.
That's going to be a crazy week 18 game, because no matter what the outcome is of week 17, week 18 is for the division between the Titans and the Jaguars.
Right.
They have a bright future. The fact they're getting Calvin Ridley next year could be ridiculous, but man, like you said it, Malik Willis. But now if you're the Titans, you have that tough decision of next year. Malik Willis has not shown anything that he could be a franchise quarterback. Do you get rid of Ryan Tannehill and just bite the bullet and try something else, or do you bring back Tannehill, who kind of was on that downward slope still? There's obviously other quarterback options, but whatever. Like, what is the state of this Titans team right now? Because they are way overperforming, and that is credit to Mike Vrabel, who is who should always be considered for coach of the year, because he is so incredibly undervalued as a head coach in this league. Man, I'm like blanking here. There was a lot of stuff that happened. And the Packers, watch out for the Packers. The Steelers also 7-8. That's a team that Mike Tomlin playing meaningful football when it matters, but
with a rookie quarterback.
For real. And this
it's amazing he gets the most out of his team. I think the disappointing thing, the Cleveland Browns, I thought they should have beat the Saints in cold weather, and they're not able to do that. They're not getting any quarterback play at all. They're not running the ball enough. I think they've been disappointing.
I said this before. You cannot be out of it. And I'll say about Calvin Ridley too, because I do not know what he's going to look like when he comes back. This league could pass you by so quickly. And we see it time and time again. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. There's a real chance Deshaun Watson just isn't good anymore. That's it. It's a real possibility.
It's that fast because defensive coordinators pick up on your tendencies, and then on top of it, all the distractions off the field. You haven't played in 2 years, so we'll see how basically that turns out. Jacob, thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution. Go ahead and promote yourself, my friend.
100%, man. I appreciate it. Check me out. Hard Count Football on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter. I'm the most active there right now for sure. At Jacob Charno. Come interact with me. I love talking to people. Instagram at Hard Count Football. TikTok at Jacob Charno as well. Peter, it's always a blast. I love coming on here. I was super excited. One, because that Bucs game gave us a lot to talk about with now and the future and all that. And I wanted to flex the muscles a little bit and show off the sweater.
Well, there you go. You showed off your sweater. You flexed your muscle. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas, man.
Definitely get some rest, all right?
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Right. Good stuff. All right there, Jacob Charnow of the Hard Count Football Podcast. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So going back to Dave here, Mike Evans is as 917 yards with 2 games to go. I still think it's possible for him not to get the 1,000 the way he is totally misused, which to me is a mystery. And you've heard from people tonight that he's wide open. Brady's just missing him. I've heard this 2 weeks ago talking to people in the know that Brady is just missing him for some reason. Either he's not getting the time, he's not looking to him. What's going on there? Evans for the night finishes with, and let me just see here because I know these statistics aren't correct. With Evans, finishes up with 3 catches for 29 yards, including a big one in that fourth quarter and in overtime. Merry Christmas to everyone. You took the words right out of my mouth. Everything is in front of this team. Go Bucs. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Everything is in front of this team right now, and they have everything to lose. And I know there's a lot of fans out there that thought they were just going to run away with this division. And with the talent on this team, they should have. It goes back to losing to the Carolina Panthers earlier on. It goes back to losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Teams that you should beat. But again, it's no friggin' logic. It's the National Football League. And it's any given Sunday. And if you don't put your best effort out there, it's not going to work out. So, and that's what the Bucs have in front of them. You're going to look back and you're going to feel like you could have won some of those games. Even the Packer game you could have won. It's not like the Packers dominated you at Raymond James Stadium. It's not like the Packers are a great team. But you could have beat them because your defense continues all year long to keep you in games. Somehow, some way, that defense gets it done. Even without a Vita Vea, even without a Jamel Dean, even with all the injuries they've had at the corner position. All right, Bucs are going to make a big turnaround in the playoffs. I hope so. I think we've been saying this since Munich, Germany, and it's been up and down. And you get a couple of fourth quarter comebacks against the Rams and the Saints. And now tonight you get another comeback and you win in overtime. You're down 16-6 against a 4-10 football team. Inexcusable. And then all of a sudden, click that switch and you're 16-13. And then all of a sudden it's 16-16. And then you're going into overtime and your defense does the job again and gives you the opportunity, gets you the ball back, and you're able to cash in with Ryan Suckup. All right, so we'll see what happens. Joe says, yep, our O-line is our problem. It is. He's getting rushed every time. It seems like it. Tim says, hey, Peter, do you know of a timeline for when Vita Vea will be back? He is crucial to us stopping the run game. You better believe it. With Deontay Foreman running wild over the Lions, not to say the Lions are a great defense, because they're not.
This guy sucks.
And somebody should have told me that before I picked them this weekend, because I was getting on that bandwagon saying, you know what, maybe the Lions have finally turned the corner. But nope, they sure haven't, because their defense is that. All right, so there's no timeline at this point. I'm hoping he's going to play. Tristan Wirfs playing in this game surprised me because of the injury. He was limping in this game. So we'll check on the status of that. You can't afford to lose him. You got to get back Vita Vea. You got to get back Jamel Dean. But even with those losses tonight and players not being 100%, and no player's going to be 100% at the end of the day, right? The bumps, the bruises. I mean, that's the reason why you play for the first round bye, so you can rest your body. And even that's in doubt right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Because if you've heard, Gardner Minshew is their starting quarterback. He had 2 turnovers against the Dallas Cowboys on Saturday. They lost. And it looks like there's no telling it Jalen Hurts when he's going to be back. He may be back against the Saints next week. They may play Gardner Minshew. Heck, they may not even win the division now because Jalen Hurts is hurt. That's how much he means to them. That's why I say not for long. One injury changes the whole outcome of that team. So we'll see how that works out. Because Dallas won on Saturday. Let's go out to Damon here. Brady lost his wife and Gronk. We talked about that report on Facebook with Gronk talking to the Bucs. He called them. They didn't call him. He called them in Thanksgiving to look at some options. And then he tweeted out the other day he's bored. Now, according to Ian Rappaport today, he's not going to play this season. He'll play in 2023. I'm not going to say whether he's going to come back or not. It would be nice. I think it would definitely be an upgrade over what they have. You know my feelings on Gronkowski. It's been one of their biggest losses this year. Not only as a pass-catching threat, but also as an inline blocker. Not only helps out Donovan Smith on that left side and everybody else, but also helps out with the running game because he gives you that physicality that this team has not had all year long. So would it be nice for him to come back? When he called there in Thanksgiving, yes, it would have. I don't know if it's going to happen now, but it's certainly interesting with him tweeting out on board. Of course, now he joined up with FanDuel. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm Tribal God, Sports Web After Dark. Cedric says, only the offense looks like trash. The defense looks semi-decent. Agree, Cedric. And I know that you've been a guy that said, you know what? Tom Brady is not getting enough criticism. He's not. But on this show, he is. He did not play well tonight. Not for the majority of the game. You look at his final numbers. Once again, 32 for 48, 281, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But what you have to remember is that fourth quarter, you're down 16-6. You're able to get that long drive. You're able to make things happen. And then Rashard White goes in for the little short touchdown. Where has that been all night long? Why does it take so long for this offense to turn on the urgency? Why is Tom Brady still missing throws to Julio Jones? Why is this offense not able to incorporate Mike Evans more? Why does it seem like every play call is a screen? Well, I'm going to tell you why it seems like every call is a screen or a dump off, because the offensive line can't give him enough time to throw the ball. That's the problem. This team cannot go down the field. They tried to go down the field tonight. He underthrew Evans. Evans looked like he was in the wrong place, but it was a bad throw. Undercut by the defender. Interception. But pressure is right in his face after Wells goes out. And that's when I go back to coaching. You call a pass play action, but you have no help for Brandon Walton, who's coming in at the left tackle spot. Makes no sense at all.
This guy sucks.
That's on coaching. You could sit here all day long and say it's about execution. Sure, I'm in favor of it, the way this offense has played this year. But that is on coaching and putting your players in the right position to win. And luckily, the Bucs were able to win tonight, 19-16 over the Cardinals. So good stuff, Cedric. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Tampa needs to be able to stop the run to beat Carolina and to have a chance of slowing down Dallas in the first round of the playoffs, because both of those teams like to run. And don't forget the Atlanta Falcons, because even though by all intents purposes, they're done. They've been eliminated. They're done. But they're going to play spoiler. They're a rival game. They're going to give you everything they got. You found out yesterday with the Houston Texans. They're not dead yet. They're going to play hard. The Chicago Bears, the first half versus the Buffalo Bills, played hard. Teams are not just going to lay down. They still get paid a paycheck. They still want to earn a job next year. It's the National Football League. They're going to give you everything they got. You got to go out there and have a better effort, especially against a 4-10 football team. Disappointing. And I keep on going back to this. Like, when is this team going to turn it around? Like, when are they going to make the plays? When are they going to execute? When are they going to have this offense that you had last year? And I don't know if it's going to happen. I think this is how you're going to have to win. And it's dangerous. It's a dangerous scenario because you can't turn over the ball. You can't make mistakes. Your defense has to play almost flawless, and they have to cause turnovers. Did I say flawless? I did.
Flawless victory.
They did. You have to play flawless. You have to cause turnovers. You have to make stops. The Bucs had 2 turnovers tonight. William Golston with 1 late with the running back fumbling the ball. Once again, doing a good job. We talked about it at the beginning. Anthony Nelson, blindside blitz. Nobody picked it up. Boom. McSorley fumbles the ball. Recovered by Devin White. That's the kind of turnovers you got to have, because it gives your offense those short fields and that momentum. Your offense not able to do anything. No matter what the defense does, not able to do anything. It's disappointing. So I don't know if it's going to turn around. I don't. Good stuff, Tim. Appreciate you. Troy says, BA brought the no risk it, no biscuit offense. I can't wait for us to fire Bowles and his coward football offense. Now, that's actually a good comment. I'll give you that.
Flawless victory.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I agree with you on this, Troy. And I don't agree with most of your comments because I think the most of the time you're just asinine. But this is a great comment. Going back to the play calling, 3 straight plays and you can't get 1 yard. Come on, offensive line. Sack up. And if he can't sack up, put the ball in Tom Brady's hands so he can go for a quarterback sneak, which 90% of the time is successful. What are we talking about here? Coaching for friggin' idiots. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Merry Christmas. Of course, it is now 1:10 in the morning, so I guess I can stop saying Merry Christmas, but it was a good victory tonight, although a nail-biter. Too much so for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going to 7-8, 19-16 over the Arizona Cardinals. So I agree with you on that. Guess what? You're wrong. New episode with Peter H. Blake on December 31st. If you want a new podcast, not talking sports, we talk about Violent Night, which is a new movie out there. If you haven't seen it, do podcast with my cousin called Guess What? You're Wrong. Definitely check that out on the major podcasting platforms. Pete, because you're old, quit calling him kid. He's a grown-ass man. Acknowledge him. I did acknowledge him, and I did tell you on the broadcast that he was correct. So you stop trolling me.
This guy sucks.
And he's 18 years old. I'm 44, so to me, he's a kid. I'm sorry. He's a kid to me. He's a great kid, though. I'll call him a man if that makes you feel better there, Petunia. Fournette is garbage. I'm not ready to say that because, again, you look at his numbers, 20 for 72 tonight. Pass catching 9 for 90. Because they know that Brady's not going down the field because his offensive line can't give him the time. Or you're not able to get the separation. There's some big catches later on in this game. Gage for 23 yards. Julio Jones for 6 yards. Evans catch for 16 yards to put them in position to win the game. That was key. Gage, big on that last drive. Go to the 19 for a 13-yard catch. Very critical of Russell Gage this year. Hasn't been able to stay healthy, largely ineffective, but in this game, made some big-time catches. That's what your wide receivers do. You heard from the sideline reporter that Brady was talking to his wide receivers. This is what you got to do. Giving him a wink. Okay. They did it. Good. Great execution on the last drive in overtime. That's the way you got to do it. All right. So I'm not ready to say Fournette is garbage, but Rashard White, in my opinion, is better. He gives you more. That's not to say you forget about that running back. You need 2 running backs to win in this league. Fournette in the passing game, 9 for 90 yards. He was big tonight. Say whatever you want to about him, Troy, because you always do. You hate Leonard Fournette. We know. We understand it. It's a tired act.
This guy sucks.
Let's see here. Ralph says, try Pittsburgh, 9 degrees in the wind chill. I get it. Yes. But again, Floridians are Chihuahuas, my friend. We don't have the fur to deal with that coldness. We don't. I took my dog out the other night. My face nearly froze. Oh, by the way, Alexander decided to go on a little expedition, if you will, running all around the apartment complex, and I had to chase him for about an hour and a half. Thank you for that, Alexander. You definitely made my weekend. Out in the cold. And then he ended up back at the apartment. Unbelievable weekend. I said, Trace McSorley, straight hot donkey garbage. Stop skipping the comments, bro. I'm not skipping the comments. I'm calling you out, though. And if you continue to troll me, I'll continue to troll you back. I told you that. Let's go out to Tulio. Brady looked like his dog died in the post-game conference. I know it was an ugly game and win, but something is definitely happening in that locker room. And I have no idea. I've heard rumors, like you have, that there is dissension, that there is something going on. If it's in his personal life, who knows? That has been the story of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2022. The outside noise of this team, and are they able to overcome it? Are they able to overcome it? And the majority of the year, it's been very frustrating as a Bucs fan to watch this team, especially offensively. They have not been able to get out of their way. And it is not the other defense that's doing it to them. It's themselves. We talk about it all the time, self-destruct Bucs. That, to me, is one of the mottos of 2022 of this team. And we go back to the situation where you settle for a field goal. It looks like you have a touchdown to Julio Jones. You don't, because you get 2 straight penalties. It looks like you have a first down on that same drive. You get a call back. So instead of 3rd and 9 and a touchdown at that juncture with momentum, you're backed up. And then it's 3rd and 19. And then, of course, you do a dump down because they know you're not going deep. That's not your offense anymore. You're not going down the field with those 20-yard plays. You can't score enough points because your offensive line can't give your quarterback enough time to throw the ball. And if your offensive line can't give your quarterback at least 2 to 3 seconds to throw the ball, you are screwed. I'm sorry, you're screwed. All right. So I get those press conferences tomorrow. It's looking like we're going to go live about 10 a.m. because local radio is not going live. Yours truly, along with Ray Kennedy here on the Sports Web at 10 a.m. So I'm going to do this post game. I'm going to take your comments. I'm going to read them. I'm going to take your phone calls. I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to wake up and do this all over again and try to get some post-conference comments from the parties tonight in this big-time Bucs win. BS Brady had plenty of time to go through progressions. He underthrew the seam route right down the hashes. Miss Julio on the 7 route. He's just trashed this year. Again, Corey, I've said that. He's missed throws. It's not just the offensive line. It's him also, because the line at some points is giving him time to throw the ball, and he's missing it. I don't understand the second interception at all. I don't understand. It's a bad throw. You're trying to force the ball down the field. It looks like you're trying to force it in double and triple coverage. Somebody's not open at that juncture. I don't understand it. So I definitely agree, and I understand your frustration here on the Sports Web. Noodle Arm Brady was missing open receivers inside the Dome Stadium where the wind wasn't much of a factor. Roger Sue says, buy guns and ammo. 2A, Troy. Okay, kid, it's past your bedtime. Go watch Blue's Clues and play with your Legos. Shut up.
This guy sucks.
Hard count football sounds good. Going to be build a Lego Death Star. Troy, do you have an instruction manual for me? It's a lot of pieces, and I'm not sure if I can handle it. Troy, again, I'm having a bad night. Can't stand watching the crappy Bucs win. Well, too damn bad. I see Ed watching. What's going on? Ed, stay mad. Hope you have a good holiday. Troy. Ralph says, Feliz Navidad. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Ryan Jensen, Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line for the playoffs could make a huge difference. And I get it. A lot of people are looking at that. And even Chris Collinsworth was mentioning it tonight with Robert Hansey. He's more finesse than physicality, right? Maybe that's the reason why you're not calling a quarterback sneak. But you call the quarterback sneak after you get stuffed on 4th down, and you get it. It's amazing how that works, right? It's amazing. All right, let me go out to Craig from Las Vegas. Merry Christmas, my friend. Your thoughts on the Bucs winning, surviving the Cardinals 19-16. Go, my friend.
Oh, my gosh. Merry Christmas. Happy 8th night of Hanukkah to everybody out there.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it was it's just like I don't know. For long-suffering Bucs fans, you know, our expectations are up. But I think if it was Tom Brady's not our quarterback. We're like, okay, we got to win. We were happy with it, whatever.
Right.
The things that frustrate me the most right now with this team, number one is, do we have a defensive back that can hold on to a ball and change a game?
Well, that's another thing. You know, I think Carlton Davis has done a good job, and even Sean Murphy-Bunting, who was on DeAndre Hopkins and I, did a good job. But Carlton Davis has an opportunity to have an interception, and you're exactly right. You got to take advantage of those situations, and when you don't, then you got the fake punt. And then, of course, the Bucs calls the turnover later. But it's those key situations where you have to make a play there to where you change the momentum. And eventually they do. But at that point, you're looking at it. You got the fake punt. You're still able to extend that drive. Those are the type of plays where if you give the opposing team that second opportunity, usually they're going to make you pay. Once again, very fortunate to play a 4-10 football team tonight with the quarterback getting his first start.
Yeah, that's the thing is, this is a very good defense. And for those that know that elite defenses is the one that won the Super Bowl the first time for us. They scored, 8 or 9 touchdowns that year?
Right.
Obviously scored a couple in the Super Bowl too. The difference is when they got their hands on the ball, they didn't let it go. And they changed the game too. They also, in tough situations, they got the ball back to a struggling offense too. I know it's a little bit different of a game now too.
Sure.
But the defense needs to make a little bit more plays, not just stops, but they've got to get some extra possessions. They got the one tonight, and they didn't take advantage of it. But later in the game, I don't know what happens. Is there a panic button? Do they go to a different playbook? They're jumping every short route we have, and there was a couple that were almost picked off. They hit do you notice in overtime they pumped the short route? Gage was wide open on the deep ball.
Yeah, and that was a big play. 23 yards. It was nice to see that, and that was the typical Brady pump. And that's what you had to see, because even the announcers were bringing this up. Basically, Arizona at that point, they knew that the short route was coming because the offensive line, in my opinion, is not giving Brady the time. But furthermore, we've seen it this year. When Brady goes deep, his accuracy is just not there anymore.
No, it's not. It's awful. I mean, the Julio Jones is that's not on anybody but Tom. That's Tom missing an easy throw, and it's I don't know if people.
How many times have we seen that this year, Craig? And how frustrating is that as a fan watching this and knowing that you've watched Brady for these last 2-3 years, that he usually completes that pass, and it changes the whole complexion of the game. Because if you're this Bucs offense and you're struggling scoring points, and right away you get out to an early lead at 7-0, you're feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, they should have been up 14-0 after the end of that first quarter. Between the missed ball by that, they got the turnover at midfield and didn't take advantage of it. And the things and also to an offense, we're becoming way too predictable. And it's not just on that type of play. Every time Scotty Miller's in formation, they know the deep ball's coming. He's triple covered down there. He doesn't have to throw that ball. I'm sure there's a check down that's open for 5 or 6 yards. There was another play also in the game. They try to hit a short route to Godwin or one of the tight ends. If you go back and look at that play, they all jumped inside. Even the one on Mike Evans jumped inside. Mike was wide open with no safety on top. He could have ran until he hit his head on Hoover Dam. There's just basic things that Tom's not seeing it. And I know he's making business decisions and not taking hits, and I get that. Listen, I understand he's looking for the next, phase of his life. But you know what? Sometimes you got to go through the progressions once at least, try it a little bit. I also feel so bad. I think Cade Otton had his worst game tonight of the year between the penalties and a few drop balls. He just was not there tonight. I don't know what was wrong with him, because I think he's been very good all year, and I felt bad for him for all the situation he went through the season with his mom.
Sure.
But I think also there's one more thing too is I don't like is we are one of the best teams off of play action, right? This Pro Football Focus talks about all these things.
Right.
3rd and 2 out of a timeout. We're in an empty set with no back in the backfield. If anything, leave the back in just to help in case someone breaks through the line. You've got one extra chip. You might have a few more seconds to go no back set against a quarterback. We know who's not going to run the ball. It's not like, even Rodgers has a little bit of mobility. Just Tom doesn't have it. It is what it is.
Right.
But you take play action off the menu, I can't stand that play from Byron. It drives me nuts. And the run at the end of the game where you could have won the game and not had to worry about overtime. I don't know. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If we would have won the toss, I would have almost deferred because I felt as if we got the ball first and we had a sack or some sort of negative play, they might have got the ball back near midfield because Jake is so inconsistent and our punt return coverage is absolutely horrendous right now. It was the worst I've seen in the league right now. We could have probably got beat by a 55, 60-yard field goal had we won the toss. I think of losing the toss probably gave us a chance to win better than had we won that toss.
I tend to agree with you, and it's because the pressure, it seems like, with this Bucs team, just starting off games and just starting off the overtime, and we saw how they played against Cleveland when they started it off. So I tend to agree with you on at the end of the day, and your defense keeps you in that game. They get the ball back, and eventually you're able to put it together, and that last drive for me was just key. Evans is involved in the game plan, which, again, somebody has to explain this to me, how a 6'5" wide receiver who is your most consistent threat, and the last 2 years, the chemistry with him and Brady has been flawless. All of a sudden, you can't hit him and can't find him in that first half and the majority of the game until overtime. It doesn't make any sense to me, Craig.
What about the last time they played on Sunday night, the first game of the year? How did they score that touchdown? Yeah. Mike Evans on the fade route, right?
Yeah.
When have we seen a fade since then?
I don't know when you've seen it. I don't know why you haven't seen a fade route. I don't know why you're not using the size that you have there, in the red zone. Even a Kyle Rudolph, who's big and who is somewhat of a mismatch, can get some separation. Why isn't he more involved? Why isn't Cade Otton more involved? Why isn't Mike Evans getting the fade route? Why is it always seem like it's a screen to either a Godwin or it's a throw out? I mean, you saw the coverage tonight. They hit Gage there, and they're playing way off. It's a perfect read, and you're going to give Gage that 10 yards of cushion. He's going to take it all day long. But it always seems like it's a dump off or some, like there's just no confidence in this offense, and it starts with Tom Brady having confidence in the offensive line, and I just don't see it, and it's the play calling, which is just absolutely abysmal. It doesn't seem like they have any confidence in the offensive weapons.
And the fade route is a one-step drop. Throw it up there. Only Mike's going to get the ball.
Right. Let your guy make the play. He's done it in the past.
It's the safest play out there.
Right.
Tom's not going to get hit. Mike, it's not going to be an interception. It's going to be Mike get the ball or no one gets it at all.
Correct.
I just don't understand it. It was something back when, I remember back when we had Lawrence Dawsey or Horace Copeland.
Horace Copeland, yeah.
Yeah, there were guys like that. It's the simplest one step. If you're looking to simplify the game plan and you're looking to play safe plays, to not have Mike Evans a target on a fade route it should be in the play call every single time.
Every single time, because you're not
in the red zone.
Right, because it's always worked. You've ran it so many times, and then it starts with body positioning. You got a 6'5" guy who knows how to position his body. That's the reason why Mike Evans is one of the best at it. He's one of the best receivers in the league. Not only can he catch the ball consistently, but he positions his body. He's going to shield that corner. And at the end of the day, you can't guard 6'5" with separation. I don't care how big you are. You're going to be 5'9", 5'10". You barely see these big corners. So I don't understand why they haven't gone to that. Again, I've heard plenty of people tell me that Brady is just missing him. He's not looking for him for some reason. Again, I don't know what they have to do. Do they need to go out to a steak dinner? Do they need to go out to a campfire? Do they need to go out to a high school and develop that chemistry again? But Mike Evans going forward has to be involved in this game plan in order for this offense to go, in my opinion. If you don't have him in this offense, there's a problem. There should be an investigation. People should be fired. Everything should be, heads should roll at this juncture if you're not getting Mike Evans involved in your game plan early and often.
And there's a lot of jobs on the line this Sunday against Carolina. There are a lot of jobs on the line. I think the special teams coach's job is on the line. We know Byron's on the line. I'm telling you, they lose a home game for the revenue. Todd is on the chopping block too. There's a lot of people that could be potentially on their jobs all on the line this Sunday. And if they don't get Vita back on this Sunday, I'm a little worried because of that Carolina run game.
I am too. Deontay Foreman is the real deal, and he showed it against the Bucs early on, and he's been the catalyst for this offense. Make no mistake about it. You can talk about quarterback play all you want to, but as I've always said, this offense of the Bucs and any team in the National Football League, and predominantly this year, you look at the quarterback numbers, quarterbacks are throwing less. Why? Because you're running the ball, and as it gets colder in these upcoming months, you have to run the ball and you have to play defense. And that's the one thing the Bucs struggle against. And without a Vita Vea, they struggle with stopping the run. They did a good job tonight, somewhat, but you still got to do a better job. And Vita Vea being back in that lineup, it definitely helped tremendously.
All right. Well, everybody have a great night. I mean, have a good victory Monday. It's better than what it could have been.
Yes.
It could have ruined 2 holidays. The Bucs could have ruined 2 holidays in one night.
Yes.
Hanukkah and Christmas all in one night.
I
mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
And,
what could have happened tonight?
Yes, absolutely. Great stuff, Craig. As always, keep on calling the Evolution, and we'll probably be on tomorrow morning too. All right, my friend?
All right, man. Take care. Be well.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Hope you got your rest. I know that Bucs game tonight was not the best, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's continue to read some of these comments. Troy says, you too. Shooter and Stash. The Bucs still find a way. Let's keep it going. Absolutely they did. Let's go out to Damon Beatty. I said when I was on your show some time ago, when Gronk left the Bucs, that if Brady went on to play, he would be lost without Gronk. I think Brady's just done. Maybe he needs to stay retired. Again, not making all the throws, whether it's pressure, whether it's in his head, whether it's the distractions off the field. And, of course, a Gronkowski, who's one of the best tight ends of all time, who is Brady's security blanket at the end of the day, who does so much for this offense. And people told me in the offseason, it's not a big deal. Kyle Rudolph, Cade Otton, Cam Brake, they're going to be able to fill that role. Not so fast, my friend. Gronk is so important to this offense, not only as a pass-catching threat, but as an inline blocker. He's got the physicality. He's got the attitude. He's got that veteran presence. And he's got the confidence of Tom Brady. That's what it comes down to. So good comment, as always. Let's go out to Troy here. I was watching a video on YouTube that the NFL is rigged like WWE match. Damon says he is a kid. He is. Roger Shoe, I'm going to bed. Good night. Thank you very much.
Acknowledge me.
Let's go out to Troy Palomar. You say I bring nothing to the show, but I'm the only one that wakes up early to watch your show. Stay up late to support you. Acknowledge me. Okay, I'll acknowledge you. Woo! There you go. Good stuff. Thanks a lot for the support. As always, as Troy, we always go back and forth together, but thank you very much for supporting the show. Even though sometimes I basically just want to ban you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, let's go out to Damon here. Great show tonight, Pete. Love the passion. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah. Let's go out to Damon again. This damn team is going to drive me to drink. Agree.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I think a lot of people feel like that all year long. And say whatever you want to about the 7-8 record. They could have had more games if they just quit committing those critical penalties at critical times. If you're able to execute, which I've had people tell me, it's not the play calling, it's the players executing. Okay, execute. I always love to hear that. I always told you the story about my mom watching football as much as I do. And she would say, son, it's not about the play calling. It's not about the players. It's the execution of the plays. And I go, that's simplistic. But you know what? She's right. It is about execution. Let's go out to Troy here. Why are you going to bed, Roger? We're not working tomorrow. How the hell would you know? You don't even work with us. Shut up. Shut up. Happy Kwanzaa, bro. Troy Palomar, where's Harry? He's probably sleeping like normal people do. All I've heard, I bench Brady. Blaine Gabbert is a backup for a reason. We have to ride or die with Brady. I agree, Robert. You do. You have to at this point. Nobody's coming through that door. Tom Brady from 10 years ago is not coming through that door. What you have right now is what you get. The offensive line, the way it is, maybe you get back Ryan Jensen for the start of the playoffs. Maybe. I have heard nothing that would make me believe that he's coming back anytime soon. Pretty serious knee injury. The Bucs have been very quiet about it, but you never know. Is it a big-time deal? Absolutely. Because once again, Jensen is a veteran presence. His physicality at the line of scrimmage, you feel good about. He knows the line calls. He's not going to commit silly penalties like you've had all year long. He's going to be able to hold other players accountable. So you're absolutely right. So we'll see how that works out. Let's go out to Brian. Why don't we see more play actions? Isn't that when Brady is more effective? I agree with you. I don't know why you don't see more play action, but I do have some type of idea why you don't. Because when they tried to go play action tonight, which wasn't that much, but when they tried, they had Brandon Walton on an island, and basically Brady got smeared and underthrew a pass because the pressure got to him and the timing was off. That's the reason why you don't go past play action, because your offensive line is not giving your quarterback enough time. It's so simplistic. Football is such a simple game. And I love how people say, well, you got to play the game. I played the game, but I didn't play the game at the professional level. I didn't play the game at the college level. But I've watched the game for so many years. You have to give a quarterback 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. You have to get open as a wide receiver to get that separation so the quarterback can get you the ball. If there is pressure that gets into that quarterback's face, that rushes the timing, there's always an opportunity not only to take a sack, but for something bad to happen. Because even with that sack that doesn't happen, that pressure that gets to the quarterback can rush the timing, which means there's a possibility of a turnover. Coaching 101. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Mike Tackett says, are the Bucs on the brink of a rebuild? Mike Evans will be 30 next year. His cap hit $10.2 million this year, $23.6 million next year. Maybe a trade will free up cap space and draft capital. No. Not giving up Mike Evans. No. He's a team player. He's lowered his cap number. I still feel like he has something left in the tank. He's 30 years old. No. Even if you lose Tom Brady, and I get it, you're going to be about $47 million in the hole. I still think this team can be somewhat competitive. I don't think it's going back to the dark ages like a lot of people believe. They still are relatively young. They are. They still have young pieces on this team. They're going to have to make decisions. And it starts at the quarterback position. Is Brady going to come back? A lot of people feel like he's not going to come back to the Bucs or go to another team. I'm not sure. Depending on how this season finishes. I think that's what it really comes down to at the end of the day. But to answer your question, no, I would not trade Mike Evans. No. We got sponsors, of course, uwager.lv. If you're wagering on the National Football League, NBA, or NHL, go to uwager.lv. Promo code SportsWeb, an 80% bonus. You heard me right. It's not too late. You haven't been drinking too much, although you may have, and that's okay because it is a holiday, so be safe out there. But uwager.lv, promo code SportsWeb. And, of course, this edition of the Sports Web is brought to you by Spring Hill Trailer and Equipment Repairs, 985-570-7269. Again, Spring Hill Trailer and Equipment Repairs. Learn how to talk, Peter. Let's go out to more of these comments here. We'll go out to I Love St. Pete, see if there's any comments there. And I think we will wrap it up for the night here. Let's go out to Ed. Troy sucks. Tim goes, he won't call next week when we beat Carolina Kittens. I think we're learning why the Jets flushed the toilet bowls. Because there's been, and again, I understand the animosity towards him. He's trying to do a good job. Is he doing the best job? No. The decision-making this year, clock management, his record with the Jets. I don't know if he's a head coach in this league. I think he's a better defensive coordinator. But they pull out the win. Yes, it's disappointing. Absolutely, Tim. Sandra Nagel says, listening to the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web with I Love St. Pete, the Hub, and Amped Up Sports. 12:52 Sports Entertainment Chicago. Bucs win. Yes, Merry Christmas. And fire Bulls and Leftwich even with the win. We shall see. But the Bucs live to fight another day as it is all on the line on Sunday at Raymond James Stadium against the Carolina Panthers for the right to win the NFC South. You win the NFC South, you take care of your business, and you're going to the playoffs, even with being 7-8 at this juncture. It's amazing at the end of the day. Let's look at the statistics, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up for the night. Once again, Tom Brady, 32 for 48, 281, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, leading a touchdown drive to make it 16-13. And then after that, putting the Bucs in position to tie the game up, which they did. Buccaneer defense stifled the Cardinals all night long, kept this team in it. And then, of course, Brady with the drive to Evans and Gage and Julio Jones, especially Gage on that last drive. 40-yard field goal by Ryan Suckup. Not the best game for Tom Brady, but once again, getting it done when it counted. Leonard Fournette, 20 for 72. Rashard White, 7 for 36. You start to see that combination working out with the running game. So 27 times to run the ball is not bad between both of those backs. It's not bad at all. And they rushed for over 100 yards. So they're starting to pick the running game up. But again, it's the key situations late in the fourth quarter when it's 3rd and 3, why you're not putting the ball in Tom Brady's hands instead of running up the middle. I'll never understand that at all.
This guy sucks.
Leading and receiving, Leonard Fournette also 9 for 90. Russell Gage was big in this game, 5 for 65. Chris Godwin, 8 for 63. Another good game by Godwin. Mike Evans, inexplicably not in this. Easy for me to say. 3 for 29. Rashard White, 4 for 17. K. Otton, 2 for 12. And Julio Jones, 1 for 5. Good to have him back. Largely ineffective, but he was open on that first quarter touchdown that Brady missed. Leading the way here from defensive standpoint, Levante David with 10 tackles tonight. Mike Edwards with 7. Devin White with 9. A sack by Anthony Nelson, which caused the fumble. He had 4 tackles. Today, William Golston with 3 tackles. Carlton Davis, who played well, again, 4 tackles. William Golston with the fumble recovery late there. To put the Bucs in contention. Nacho with 2 tackles. Akeem Hicks with 2 tackles. And once again, Keon O'Neal with an interception. So it was good to see that happen from the standpoint of for the Bucs. See him get an interception in this game. I didn't think it was an interception. I thought it was 2 fumbles, but maybe I'm wrong about this. Let me look at the numbers and the stats of this. There were 3 turnovers in this game. So yes, the Bucs did have 3 turnovers. So that was good to see that finally from this defense. And that's what the defense is going to have to be. Overall numbers, 396 total yards for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers compared to 325 from the Cardinals. 281 passing yards, of course, 204 for Trace McSorley. Had like 172. Rushing yards, 115 by the Bucs, 121 by Arizona. First downs, 21-16. The Bucs, 6 for 17 on 3rd down, 5 for 19. So good job by the defense holding the Cardinals at bay. And then sacks allowed tonight, 1 by the Bucs. Didn't get a lot of pressure, got it when they needed it. And again, 3 turnovers, time of possession, 36-29. So pretty even. But at the end of the day, when the Bucs needed to make the plays to win the game, they were able to do it as they survived the Arizona Cardinals 19-16 to go to 7-8 on Christmas night. The first time that Tom Brady plays on Christmas night, first time the Bucs play on Christmas night. So Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot for tuning in, as always, to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Go like and follow the Sports Web on YouTube. Like I Love St. Pete, The Hub, and Amped Up Sports. And do 3 things for me here on a Victory Monday. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And Bucs fans, it's your time. Bucs win 19-16 to go to 7-8. We'll see you soon here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. And we'll see you soon here on the Sports Web.
Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today and use promo code SportsWeb. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.